As I've said in previous videos, these highway code rules, for pedestrians at least, do not work. I've experienced it myself when I've been halfway across a road and a car just continued past, didn't let me cross the road. I had to retreat with my family because the car just didn't give way to me at all. I'm not even convinced that he saw me. But it's not just me that's saying this. In my previous videos, I asked you guys to send me videos of your examples from dashcam footage when this has happened to you. And this is one such clip. Roll the clip. So you can see the driver's perspective here from the dash cam approaching a junction, and you can see this pedestrian here coming from the left-hand side who looks like they're about to cross the road. So this driver, duly obeying the rules, stops to allow this pedestrian to cross, who thanks them and then goes on away. But let's just rewind that and see what happens again with the other vehicles. So playing the clip a little bit more slowly now, you can clearly see the pedestrian approaching to cross from the left-hand side. You can possibly forgive this vehicle here for not seeing them initially, but as soon as they've stepped into the road, they should ideally have stopped. But at least this second car should have stopped because they're almost halfway across by now. And this vehicle, well, this is just plain dangerous because they were definitely more than halfway across the road, and neither of the three vehicles stopped to allow the pedestrian to cross. As you can see from that short clip, one of you guys, one of my viewers, sent me this clip so you were driving and allowed the pedestrian to cross the road as you're supposed to do in the highway code rules. Now, let's just pause for a moment. Now, as a driver, I would normally allow pedestrians to cross the road because I am a courteous driver anyway. I was doing this before these new rules came in. So for anybody that thought I'm being self-righteous about it, you're dead wrong because I was always giving way. My dear wife will attest to this. I always allow people across the road whenever it's possible to do so. However, I've commented on more than one occasion personally that I've not allowed the pedestrian to cross the road for the sole reason that another car may not see that I've stopped to allow them across the road, and the other car may not see the pedestrian, or the other car may not care that there's a pedestrian crossing the road, and the car may continue on anyway and regardless. And that is why on some occasions I didn't allow the pedestrian to cross the road. And even when I did, I was so conscious of it, I would open my window, I would put my hand out of the window, gesturing to the other car oncoming to stop because there's a pedestrian coming across the road. On other occasions, with eye contact with the pedestrian, I would point to make sure that they look in that direction for another vehicle, because when they're looking at me approaching this junction and they're waiting to cross, they are fixated on me. So if I stop, they thank me for allowing them across, but their attention is then on me, not on the other side. So when they do that and they've got eye contact with me, I point deliberately, very deliberately in the other direction, and they look almost surprised to look for another vehicle. And sure enough, sometimes there's another vehicle coming. But on only some of those occasions, the other vehicle would stop. And on other occasions, it would drive on ahead. And the pedestrian looked back at me and said thank you for warning them that there was another car coming. So in this clip that you've just watched is exactly that scenario playing out in real time, except now these new rules are in place. But it just proves, again, that these rules don't work if they're a hard and fast rule. Do I support it? Well, yes, I do support it if all drivers are going to comply with it. Hence the number of videos on this very topic. I would like every driver to be courteous, whether they want to be or whether they are forced to be by the rules or whatever. I would like every driver to allow pedestrians to cross the road, but we need everybody to be aware of this. So if these rules are going to work, everybody needs to be aware of it and everybody needs to comply with it. So I hope that's not too much of a mixed message, but the rules are here, but we need a review of those rules. And some person asked me in the comments, what would my suggested review be? Well, my suggested revision of the rule would be that it should be you must give way to a pedestrian crossing the road and embed it in the regulations, because otherwise it's just guidance, and it will be guidance that the court would use to attribute blame, yes, granted, but unless it is a must with a penalty attached to it, a lot of people just aren't going to comply with it. That's my view, and that is certainly not based on supposition. It's based on my experience, and it's based on videos like this that you guys have sent me. So please keep these videos coming. Let's get this word out. Please remember to subscribe, and thanks for watching.